Hello and welcome to this week's mini session where I'm going to present to you the Intimacy Continuum. Now this is a concept that I saw some time ago and I don't even know in what format I saw it, but I've been using it ever since and I've probably slightly adapted it. But it's so effective and the reason why I decided to present it today is because I presented it this morning to a couple and it just resonates every time I talk about it. It's just like light bulb moments for each person. So I'm going to keep this quite brief and just let you sort of take it on and think about it. Our relationships, primary relationships, have intimacy in terms of sensuality and sexuality, which is where when people think of intimacy, they usually think that's what it is. But intimacy is also conflict and it's also emotional closeness. So when I talk about the intimacy continuum, I put conflict on this end, and this is going to be a short one because of the way the camera's set up, and sexual intimacy on this end. And in this section here is sensuality. So before sexual intimacy is sensuality. And remember, here's conflict. So before conflict is repair. So we have conflict and then we repair. And to move into sexual intimacy, we have sensuality. And in this chunk here, the most important and the most amount of time that we spend in our relationship is in friendship and emotional closeness, emotional intimacy. So when you do this part of your relationship well, you're able to move up and down the continuum with much more ease. Makes sense, doesn't it? Friendship, so listening, speaking, kindness, compassion, grace, generosity, care and consideration, respect, honesty, truth, transparency, all those practices, values, all happening in this. The majority of the time that you spend together is in there. And then when this works really well, it's not difficult to move into sensuality, which is, where arousal and where desire and arousal get engaged. But if you don't repair conflict well, and remember some couples go from here, conflict, to sexual intimacy. That's where they do their repair and they just go here and here. So we want you to learn how to move through this whole continuum and accept that whole continuum is a part of relationships. So, so if you're doing this part well, it makes it just one little step to sensuality, which is where all the senses are tapped into to create desire and arousal. And then there's one step away from sexual intimacy. And then going this way, when you've done your repair well, when you have conflict, you can just step back into the repair and then you move back into the friendship part of your relationship where emotional closeness takes place as well. Sharing your thoughts and feeling supported and heard. So that's the intimacy continuum. A quick mini session for today. Sexual intimacy, conflict, repair, friendship practices, and then sensuality, sexuality. If you have any questions, send me a message. If you have any requests, what you would like me to talk about in a mini session, also send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, these mini sessions that I'm doing here are what I have created in the 28-day Mind Body Retreat. And there's a mini session every day, but I've curated it in a sequence that's helpful for self-awareness and habituating self-care. So check it out, mindbodyretreat.com.au. Lots of love. See ya.